Test, 1, 2.
No lie.
Like the bag of cheese was like a baby, and he was like rocking it like this, brought it out to the car and put his seatbelt around it because he just loves the cheese.
What's going on, Philadelphia? You're tuned into the Down Money Show. When you're talking real estate, you're talking money down, you're talking down money. Here with one of the Philadelphia's greats, Gino. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, finally got to meet you after all this time. It's been a while.
Yeah, glad we were able to coordinate. Where are you located?
We're in the heart of South Philly at 9th and Passyunk, right on the corner.
Ah, nice location, man. So, when did you open up?
Well, I didn't open up. My dad did in 1966. I started with $6. He borrowed $2,000 off my grandfather and had a vision of opening a cheesesteak place. So he went across Pat's, across the street, and he said, I want to open up a place there. So he turned that $6 into a multi-million-dollar restaurant with only a 9th grade education. And at the time, Pat's was the name of the game. If you wanted to open up a business, you wanted to go against the best. Back in the day, my dad would talk smack to his dad, and his dad talked to my dad, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, we're all friends at the end of the day.
Right across from the guy who invented cheesesteaks. Like, that's a pretty bold move.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, like you said, he invented it, we just perfected it. But no, on a side note, my dad started with his father having cheesesteak places, but they were called like luncheonettes. And on the, he had about 3 or 4 of them throughout South Philly. And, he would be making cheesesteaks and doing sandwiches and, meatballs and stuff like that. And one day he went to my grandfather and said, I want to open up my own place. I want to have my own. He's like, what are you going to do? You're this, like, snot-nosed kid. You know, like, what do you know? Like, I know everything, like that kind of thing. Like the old-fashioned Italian stuff. Right? And they gave him 2 chances, slim and none. And if you ever knew my father, if you ever told him he couldn't do something, he'd prove you wrong.
Wow.
Like, if you were 6 foot, he was 6'1". He was that kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a good attitude to have. So, bold, came out here with $2,006, turned it into an empire. That's the American dream right there.
Yeah, I mean, slim chances, slim and none, and to be able to do that in 1966, is a huge accomplishment. And over the years, building business, building the brand, TV recognition, celebrities, you name it, we've done it.
What did the neighborhood look like back then?
Basically, there was like different sections. Now it's kind of like all in one right now. But back in the day, I just remember, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins all kind of being in the same area and everything.
Nice. So before we got on here, you were telling me about a really interesting real estate situation. Now, Philadelphia, I told him to chill because I wanted to hear this firsthand. So talk to me about the real estate. It's really interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm going to try to describe it to you guys. In the beginning of the building is where the original Geno's was in 1966, and I showed you the picture. We can zoom in later for that. And then we're actually sitting in the chicken store that used to be here, and right on the right side of us is the shoe store that used to be here. And then there was another store after that. I don't recall what that kind of grew the business, bought real estate, went here, built more and more. So we always tell people it's like Monopoly, anything orange and white, Geno's owns. And then we have across the street our warehouse. Yeah, Dad always had 2 ways. It's a dictatorship, it's not democracy. He had a certain way of running it. And basically, we made mistakes along the way, but we try to correct them. It's a well-oiled machine. Most of my workers have been here for 20 plus years. And, my longest running is 47 years she's been here.
Wow.
And she's on the register right there.
47 years.
47 years. She knew me like when I was a baby.
Wow. So
and
that really speaks to how you manage the shop and the relationship you have with your employees.
Oh yeah, they're like family. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be the person I am. Besides my parents teach me, they also taught me how to work the business, run the business, and when my parents passed away, they help guide me in decision making because I don't believe it's a one-man show. I believe in getting different ideas, different views, different, personalities, because when you're working with 20, 30 different people, you're going to have to handle people in a different way, different light, explain it in different ways. Because some people pick up very fast, some people pick up slow. I have dyslexia, so for me, I'm a big visual person, so I need visual stuff. I can't just read a manual and understand it.
Yeah.
I need visual stuff. But getting back with my dad and everything, he just really had a slim chance. He worked 100 hours for $100 back in the day before he got the store. He believed in hard work to achieve the dream and everything. Basically, you have to strive, be better than the next person because there's always going to be someone hungrier, more thirsty than you. So everybody, there's someone that can open up a cheesesteak place between me and Pat's and kick our butts. Because there's always that one person that's just wants to have a drive that's bigger and better.
Agreed. Someone out there is always trying to eat your cheesesteak.
Yeah, and my dad said the easiest thing is to get on top. The hardest time is staying on top.
That's a quote right there.
And we've been in business over 50 years, and be known all over the world. Do countless shows with Food Network, Rachel Ray, The Good Morning America, Today's Show, Dr. Phil. The list goes on and on and on.
Was the cheesesteak your first menu option back when your pops opened?
From what I gathered in pictures, we had meatballs, we had roast pork, and we had the basic cheesesteak, which was American cheese.
Okay.
And then they started with the whiz in the late 70s. And then in between that was the provolone was kind of snuck in because being Italian, you kind of grew up with the provolone cheese. But the original sandwich was the steak sandwich with onions, which Pat's invented. And then a few years later, they added the American cheese to it.
Okay.
It was from a cabbie coming, getting hot dogs all the time, and we happened to have steak, and he's like, "Can you put this on the grill and cook it?" And that's kind of their story of what happened.
But you guys were the first to put the cheese on. So they invented the steak, you put the cheese on it.
I can't confirm or deny that because, I don't want to be held accountable.
Okay. Okay.
Look at the face.
But you said, hey, well, we did it first. Believe it. What would you say makes Gino's cheesesteak unique?
Definitely our thinly sliced ribeye. We use soft Italian rolls with a little bit of a crust on top. We have sauteed onions, and you have a choice of whiz, American, or provolone. I kind of go between the whiz and the American depending on my day. And then, keep it basic. I mean, a lot of people want to put mushrooms and peppers and lettuce and tomato, but when you put all that stuff on, you can't taste a true cheesesteak. And it takes away from it. I believe if you're going to do a taste test, may it be me, Pat's, Jim's, Tony Lou's, Ishkadobles, wherever, do same for same. Do American with onions with American with onions. Don't put all the toppings on because you won't taste it. But then again, some people might put it on because they don't like the taste. I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting you say that because it's become a little bit of a Philly thing doing this cheesesteak hoagie. Now, were you guys the inventor of that?
I don't want to say the inventor, but definitely close call.
One of the originals.
Yeah, one of the originals. But then again, I mean, each topping is $1 topping. So, I mean, you start out with a $13 sandwich, you could be up to $17, $18 for a mushroom pepper cheesesteak hoagie pizza cheesesteak.
Wow, I did not know that.
And then we have the heart attack sandwich, which is whiz, American, provolone, or one. It's all 3 cheeses.
Wow.
It's kind of like a secret menu, kind of like...
So you got a secret menu?
Yeah.
That's not up there?
Nope.
How does one log into this secret menu?
You just have to be in line. You have to hear it.
You just got to know.
Yeah.
But where do you believe you fall on the Philly cheesesteak list?
Number 1.
Number 1. Out of doubt.
No questions asked.
I've done a few of these, and hands down, I could say you get the most press. Like movies, interviews, like what is it about Geno's that gives you the juice that makes everybody want to come interview Geno?
I think because we have a great, strong brand. I mean, we're known for the cheesesteaks, but I really think it goes back on how you treat people.
Yeah.
you know, and connections and networking. And it all started, I feel like, when Michael Bivins came to me and said, I have this new group, and part of the song is about Philly and all that. Can we shoot a video? And we're like, yeah, sure, no problem. It happened to be Boys and Men. And it was their first hit. They went platinum, Motown Philly. And till this day, people still think that we paid Michael Bivins to have these guys sing on the front of the place, and we were only supposed to have like 2 or 3 shots. We ended up getting over 6, 7 shots in the video.
Wow.
You know, and it was just amazing. And then we did Food Network, and then, like I said earlier, Rachel Ray, Dr. Phil, Oprah Winfrey, the movie Shazam. We done stuff with Adam Sandler, with Hustle.
Yeah.
You know, with Queen Latifah. That was recent, and we had like a 2-minute spot. You know, we were in the Super Bowl not once but twice, and got it for free.
Wow.
You know, and they do NFL's here all the time, but like to get Bruno Mars, which is one of my favorite artists, do the halftime show and the beginning of the Super Bowl and get free press out of it. I mean, you must be doing something. And then we did the Geico. You know, I had actually Kermit the Frog, the original Kermit the Frog, here doing an interview and making cheesesteaks.
You got Kermit.
Kermit.
You know, a lot of people can't book Kermit.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people cannot book Kermit.
His own bodyguard and everything.
Hey, you guys think you're famous? You're not famous until you can book Kermit. So I did see you on the Drew Barrymore show.
Yeah.
And I needed to know.
That's a funny story.
Did you break a record on that cheesesteak?
No, we've actually made bigger ones, but she was doing the show, Come to Philly, and she asked us to make an 8-foot cheesesteak. And I'm like, how am I going to make an 8-foot cheesesteak? You know, the ovens are only so big. And our bakery said the biggest we can do is like 5 or 9-foot cheesesteak.
Yeah.
So they actually made us a special roll, and we made the cheesesteak, had it all in the wood plied and wrapped and everything, and we brought it there, and it was the length of her desk.
Wow.
And
it's amazing.
Yeah, and she was such a sweetheart. She felt so bad because originally we were going to film here, but last minute technicalities, we went to Love Park, and, you know, I accommodate, you know. I tell people my spatula sometimes becomes a magic wand on certain shows.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Ninja Warrior, you know, the Today Show, when the girl goes down and there's no sizzle happening, and you're making things happen even though people don't know what things are going on. But she was an absolute dream to work with. And the first thing to out of her mouth was like, hey, Drew, it's Gino. Like, oh my God, so sorry that we couldn't film at your place. I heard so much about you. Thank you so much for doing my show. You know, I can't wait to do it. And one of the funniest lines, which I did not think was going to make the show, is that she's in the audience, we're filming it, we're going at it, and she's like, Gino, I can't stop staring at your cheesesteak. I can't wait to get my mouth in a motorboat this thing. We just had the mountain here from Game of Thrones, and he was doing a cheesesteak eating, I want to say, not contest, but just cheesesteak eating. He had a cheesesteak at pass that came to mind. He literally ate the cheesesteak in like 4 bites, and he was done. And he's like looking at me, I'm like, do you want another one? Or, you know, like this now. He's like,
do you want to eat the
yeah,
plate too?
yeah. And he's like, well, after here, I'm going to Insomnia Cookies and eating 10 cookies. I'm like, I'm on your diet, you know. But yeah, it's really weird over the years, the amount of shows, the food competitions or the food askings that we did, or judging different shows and stuff. It's just amazing the opportunities that I've been blessed with.
What shows have you judged?
I just did one for Amy, and right now it's called Food Brothers, where they take 2 different people and they have the Schwartz brothers, former players, and they cook alongside them and make dishes. And when they came to Philly, they made the cheesesteaks. They had me, Pats, and the owner of Joe Steaks. They were the judges for it. And I did a couple of shows. I did a judging for Rachel Ray, where we had a piece of equipment and we had to test it and then go on the show and give us the pros and cons of what we liked. Did it work? Did it really hold up to the value? And was it worth it? And all that. But Rachel's my girl. Love her.
Ah, okay.
It's one of my pictures right here when I first did the show with her. Right there.
Ah, young Gino.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
I would have to say there's two people that are very special to me that are dear friends. The late Joan Rivers, loved her to death, and Dana White. Two, I mean, he is just an absolute down-there great guy. If he came in, he'd be like, "Hey, Gino, what's up? Hey, cheesesteak," give me a hug. "Hey, I'm Dana, how are you?" And just sit down and just crack beer, talk. I mean, just very genuine. Joan was just loving, caring, always said what was on her mind, never held back, and had the biggest heart in the world. And I just loved her.
Nice. So who's the funniest famous person you've ever met?
Well, the funniest would, I have to say, with Joan Rivers is trying to watch her eat a cheesesteak, because with all of her facelifts, her mouth couldn't open, so she's kind of like gumming the sandwiches. It was funny. But one of the funniest, I would say, is Adam Sandler. He always cracks jokes. He's been a customer for years.
I heard he's really funny.
And he was nice. When we were doing the movie Hustle, he actually dropped his credit card and fed the whole staff for 2 days.
Wow.
Whatever they wanted. They can have 5 sandwiches, 10 sandwiches, 1 sandwich. They were really, really cool. Michael Bublé, class act, really nice, fun. Sal Valentinetti from The Voice.
Okay.
Real clown, charismatic, but just an old soul.
We need a story. Any story. Top of the head. Give us a story.
Good, bad, what?
Any story. Good, bad, indifferent, like...
All right.
Give us a Gino story.
All right, picture this. Sicily, 1858.
Okay.
Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, when they were together. Right before they broke up.
This is juicy.
Britney came in. She actually had a lot of clothes on. She had a shirt, pants, and a jacket. Justin's been a long-time customer of ours, and he came in, and they came in. They had a barricade. They had to do the wall break and get them in here. They had a guy in a gorilla suit outside jumping up and down.
Gorilla suit?
Yeah. Just
why?
We have no idea. It's Philly. And then we had people noticing that Justin and Brittany were here. They were trying to rip out the windows, trying to get in, so we had the bodyguards out front.
Rip the windows out the pane.
Try to rip the doors. We're trying to shut it. They're trying to open it, and they're trying to break the windows.
Wow.
Then they're trying to get them out the door, and meanwhile, we're trying to eat the cheesesteaks. They're yelling and just saying, "We love you, Brittany. We love you, Justin," and all that. It's like one of the funniest. Actually, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Here.
Have you heard of Rod Stewart? Come on, man.
And he was here, and it was after hours, we'll say, and he might have been feeling a little bit good.
Okay.
He was acting a little up, and Jimmy had to tune him and tell him to shut the hell up, and if not, get out.
Yeah. Wow.
Rod Stewart.
Okay. Some solid stories, man. It's almost like you had those.
Patti LaBelle is one of my near and dears. Love her to death.
My mother loves Patti.
Yeah, I actually did a couple events, and she actually fed us on the Boys and Men set. She would come in, and she had a whole thing of food coming in. But one event particularly, we were doing a fundraiser in Center City, and she had this yellow canary, like 7 or 10 carat diamond, and I just loved it. And she's like, "Child, what are you looking at?" I was like, "I was looking at that diamond." I was like, "I want to take a picture." So she took a picture of me. I'll show you later, of her like this with her hand, like around me, like on my shoulder, and it's showing the diamond.
What made you get into merchandising? Because no other place merchandises like Gino.
Well, thank you. I have a good team, first of all. But back in the day, my dad had shirts for the workers, and Dad always got bored of them. So one week they would be blue, one week they would be red, one day would be orange, we had black, different logos. Dad always liked to change it up.
Yeah.
And then we had customers like, "I want to get one, Joe. I want to get one. Oh, here's one. Here's one." He would just give them out, because the best part of flattery is having people wear your shirts. So he would give more away than what was sold in the beginning.
Okay.
And then I took over, with marketing and all that.
They just blew it up.
No, seriously. But he just liked that wow factor. He liked to show people in the business, like the money went back in, the floors in, the walls, the lights, the pictures, the frames, the grills, all that. But with the marketing, we started out with shirts. you know, and people would be like, oh, let me get one. Oh, they were back then $5. And over the years, we just added to it and made sweatshirts and hoodies, and we had stickers, we had keychains, we had koozies for beer bottles.
Yeah. What's the best seller?
Baby bibs and black t-shirts.
Baby bibs?
Yeah, we have baby bibs that say "Got Whiz" and Geno Steaks at the end.
Ah, that's nice,
and
man.
Baseball caps, and then we did skull caps for the winter. Trying to think what else.
We got a whole swag department.
Hot sauce bottles. We started manufacturing our hot sauce that we sell here. Pens, like I said, lanyards. Full range. And then I opened up a retail store. We had that going for 2 years, but unfortunately, with the pandemic was coming, but we shut down a little bit before that because the waves of business were up and down. To have one person over there for security reasons, it was just, you know, not the best.
Yeah.
Where now we have still the retail, where people just look in it, but we have the retail here, so now you can buy anything here 24 hours a day.
That's nice.
And I save on money and security. You know?
What's the most fun celebrity wedding you've been a part of?
All of them, because they're all unique and different, and the different players that come up and they're like, oh my god, dude, I love you. And you're like, can I get another cheese? I'm like, you can have whatever you want. I'm like, and you know who I am? You know, really?
Yeah.
They're like, no, we come to your place all the time. You know, so it's
insane.
It's really cool. But I don't really have a font like one event's better than the other because they're all different.
Yeah.
They're all different personalities, people that I'm working with, the venue, where it's at, where it's located, like the location of where I'm going to be, like interacting, meeting with the people.
So it might not necessarily be in Philadelphia.
Oh no, I put a whole display up. It's not like I'm just handing out the cheesesteak. I have a whole table. Signage.
You bring the shop.
I bring the signs. I bring, you know, the tablecloths. I bring like the peppers, the cheesesteaks, the onions. Like it has a whole setup. And then you get me, and I'm sitting there interacting, taking pictures, talking to people. You know.
Do you bring the backdrop?
Huh? Oh, everything.
Oh, you gotta bring the backdrop, man.
Yeah, I just went out this year and bought a tent because I had to do a golf outing, and we were going to be in the sun for like 5 or 6 hours. So I had a custom Geno steak tent made. And then on the back, we just added on a back step of the peak, so that people want to take pictures, or if it's too hot or whatever, I get some kind of like coverage.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on a whim, I just called my team and got it made within 2 weeks.
I was on the website and I saw Sunday Fun Day. What type of Sunday Fun Day are you guys doing? Because my version of Sunday Fun Day might be a little bit different than yours.
It's funny you said that because I just talked to Perry, DJ Perry Angeluzzi, and we're actually doing one more before it gets really cold.
Really?
It's going to be within the next 2 weeks. I'm not sure like what his schedule is, but he asked me, he's like, can I do one more? And I was like, yeah, of course. But once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on, you know, with business and, you know, with what's going on in the city, because he's booked all over the place. He's like the DJ at the Stars and Wells Fargo and, you know, iHeart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We did have a big block party. We played all kinds of music. We have people dancing in the street, dancing in lines. We give out shirts and giveaways and coupons, and we have people dancing. They get their dogs going. And I mean, it's just a fun, you know, break. And it's just a little something for me to give back to my customers.
Yeah.
That I just want to let them know that I appreciate them. Let's have fun. Not everything has to be negative in the world. Not everything has to be dreary and upsetting. Like when you come here, you're going to get cheesesteak. You're going to get a little bit of a block party. You get music, and it's funny how people just like within music, they're like, you see the shoulders going, and then you see the hips going, and then they're starting to dance, and it's funny.
By the time they get to the window, like, Gino,
yeah,
give me that steak.
Yeah.
You got a few more questions.
Sure.
We're gonna let you wrap. We're gonna wrap it up. Don't worry.
Fun. Time's going by fast.
Wizzy. Wizzy.
He was born like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Right. So for those who don't know, Geno's has their own mascot, Wizzy. So you said he was born 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I see Wizzy's been around too.
Yeah.
Philly schools, doing interviews. Does he do as many interviews as you?
Just about. Just about. We keep him busy, and he got to go to the Philly Fanatics birthday party. We did the Temple game with all the Philly other mascots, and he's a part of the Philly rhyme, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Philly swag.
The Philly swag. Last question for you here. Well, I guess second to last question. One, do you deliver?
We use Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats, so we deliver within the city and all that.
Okay.
But we don't have any personal delivery.
Okay, no, like
Unless you're a friend of
Geno
mine, then
specific.
I can do a drop off.
You'll pull up.
Yeah. But no, the funny thing is, talking about delivery, people think I have like a cooler of cheesesteaks in my car. And they're like, oh, you can bring a cheesesteak. I'm like, no, I don't have like a car full of cheesesteaks. I don't, go
You don't
around.
have like a trunk grill?
No,
You just get out.
no, but people think I actually carry cheesesteaks, or when I go places, I'm going to cheesesteaks.
Wait, have you ever made like an in-house Geno steak? Like you go to someone's house?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, me and Tony Luke do charity events to raise money for different organizations, and we do two. We do a cheesesteak night, and we do a Sunday dinner night. And the cheesesteak ones are fun.
And you make them on site?
Yeah, we bring
with the people.
what you see the ingredients here, and either person like needs rents like a griddle, or we bring like a portable one, and we make it, and we do the whole Philly tradition and show them and give them stories and behind the scenes stuff and what it's like to do this show, because we get a ton of questions about that. Like, what's this person like, or what did you feel like? How'd you get this job? Like that kind of thing.
Okay. Then my last question for you here is, what do you think about the show?
I love it.
Nice.
First of all, I'm honored.
Thank you, man. I'm honored.
And the fact that you had your research and doing your questions. Sorry, I wasn't talking to the mic so much, but I'm animated, so I'm like all over the place, and but I'm just really thankful in taking the time out to talk to me and get to know me, because a lot of people assume or hearsay through internet or social media,
on the internet.
But I like to get the real deal. I want you to meet Gino and what he's about.
I like it. You're a genuine dude.
Thank you. And you're welcome back anytime.
Hey,
come and do
man.
another show here, or just sit and if you see me, have a cheesesteak with me in here.
I appreciate that, man.
I get animated sometimes. I move around. It's the Italian thing.